Hello, this is a brief lecture on empirical distribution function. Empirical distribution function is one of the most simplest yet one of the most well studied tools or estimators in probability and statistics. It has many theoretical properties and but yet it is very simple and easy to understand and can be studied at a very elementary level. So I am including it here in my introductory course. One of the primary uses is in the computation of quantiles, because how we have defined quantiles, we say that a number is a median of 50th percentile if 50% of the numbers do not exceed it and 50% of the number are above it. So when we are talking about quantiles, we are interested in finding out a value such that certain proportion of the data do not exceed that number and a certain portion of the data is above it. So it is natural that I need a tool or a function to compute the proportion of the data that is there, that a proportion of the data up to any number y. Then I can use that function to find out for which number this data does not exceed say 50% of the value. This is basically the idea. In this course I am going to introduce the empirical distribution function as a way to define quantiles. But in general, in probability statistics, even in advanced courses, this function f and y is of great value, and we study its mathematical properties in detail. So anyway, without getting into all those, let me simply introduce. So I have a set of numbers x1, x2, xn. Now I can always define a function to be that give me any number y. Then for each x1 I will compare whether x1 is less than or equal to y or more than y. If it is less than or equal to y, then I will count as 1. Then I will go to x2 and then again compare it with y. If x2 is less than or equal to y, again count as 1 and then add all this up. So what will be the sum in the numerator? It will be the number of x1, x2, xn that are less than or equal to y. So out of n observations, how many observations are less than or equal to this given number y? So that is the in the numerator. So if you divide by n is the total number of observation. So you get a proper fraction. This fraction will represent number of observations in the data that do not exceed y. Why I am saying do not exceed? Less than or equal to y may be one of the values in the data. So I is the indicator function which is frequently used in probability mathematics. So this takes the value 1 if this condition is satisfied, 0 otherwise. So this is a very simple algorithm, I think. So let me illustrate with the help of some examples. So let us go to question number. Suppose my data set is very simple. I have got 3 plus 2 5 numbers, so n is 5. And now with this data, this is the data, I am asking what is fn 0. So you see all the numbers here are positive, so no number is less than negative or 0. So therefore what will be the proportion of numbers less than equal to 0? That will be naturally 0, right? Now if I ask what is fn1, you see only one observation, that is 1 itself is equal to 1, all other are exceeding it, so 1 over 5. Now what is 1.5? Now you see this is a number between 1 and 2, but then only 1 is less than 1.5, other numbers are bigger than it, so it will be 1 by 5 only. Now if I go to 2, then it will be 1 and 2, two numbers are less than or equal to 2, so that will be 2 by 5 in this way. So now what is the maximum value? 8. What is fn 8? So all numbers are less than or equal to 8, so therefore fn 8 will be 1. And if you take any number, say what will be fn 9? So I am leaving it as a question for you. What will be fn 9? What will be fn 9? Okay. So in general what we can say is that this fn y will be equal to 0 for y less than minimum of these numbers. If I take the minimum, if you take any value of y less than minimum, this is now this is I think you can understand why, right? Because all the numbers then will exceed this y. And can you tell me what will be f and y equal to, and that is for you to answer, for y exceeding the maximum. So equal to or greater than equal to the maximum. So that is something I am leaving for you. Okay. So you see, if this condition is satisfied, then what will be the value of ix1, ix2, ixn? You see, is this condition satisfied or not? Y is bigger than the maximum, so every number is less than equal to y. So you see, every of these i's will be equal to 1. So I have almost told you the answer. And then if I have the order statistics, like what will be fy x, capital X, r. You remember what was the meaning of this? Let me use this here. Insert X R. So this is what I am asking now. What is this equal to? So remember, what is this quantity? This is the rth order statistics. Rth order statistics. Rth order statistic. That is, if I sort the numbers x1, x2, xn from minimum to maximum in increasing order from left to right, xr would be that value which will be in the rth position. That means what proportion of the data will be below it. So r numbers are less than or equal to xr, and n minus r numbers will exceed it. N minus r minus 1 numbers will exceed it. So the interpretation of xr is that xr will represent that value in the data such that r minus 1 numbers are exactly below it, 1 number is xr itself, and n minus r numbers are above it. So if you add r minus 1, 1 and n minus 1 together, they add up to 1. So it is called the rth order statistic. So can you tell me what will be this fn of xr? So if I say that, you see, this is an ordered data. So here the x, what is x suffix 3? So in this data, can you tell me what is in this data, what is x3? How much is this one in Q1? Then I will, if you can understand this correctly, then I can understand this. And suppose if I change the data, suppose for same data, suppose I have another data, the numbers are same but given in another order. Let us say 5, 2, 1, 8, 7. This is another permutation of the data. So copy. What is this? So for this, now once you have figured this out, then your understanding of the empirical distribution function is complete. So let me tell you, how does this empirical distribution function look like. So to the left of the minimum, so if I am plotting y along the x-axis and f and y, that is the values of the empirical distribution function along the y-axis, then for y less than the minimum it is 0. Then at the first, then at minimum, when y is equal to the minimum, it will jump up to 1 by n. And then from the next order statistics, that is x suffix 2, it will be 2 by n, 3 by n, and in between it will be 1 by n. So from minimum to up to x2, this will be 1 by n. At x2 it will jump to 2 by n. By x2 I mean the second order statistic. In this way, this will like a step function. It will be like a staircase which is at the ground level 0 to the left of the minimum. At the minimum it climbs the first step 1 by n. At x2 it up to x, from the minimum up to x2 it will be 1 by n. So the first step will continue. At the second order statistic it will climb the second step of height 1 by n. This will be the same up to the third order statistics. In the third order statistics it will climb the third step, then it will be 2 by n, and so on, and at maximum it will climb the final step, it will attain 1. So from the left to right the graph looks like a staircase, each with n steps, and each step of height 1 by n. So this will be the plot of the fny. So I would like you to, based on my description and your understanding of this formula, please plot the fny graph and show me the copy. Show me the plot of your graph in your WhatsApp or in Google Classroom, whatever. So the final point is that now, given this empirical distribution function, I will define the pth quantile or the 100 into pth percentile for any fraction p to be that value for which fny will exceed the value p for the first time. Infimum of y, fn. So that means, so you see fny is an properties of fn. Note, remark, the empirical distribution function fn is a non-decreasing function, is a non-decreasing function taking values 0, 1 by n, 2 by n, dot up to 1. So this is the range of this function taking values. So this is a function which takes finitely many values, 1 to 0, 1 by n, 2 by n, then last but one value is n minus 1 by n, 1, and so on. So then what you do is that for any fraction p, you find out the pth quantile by looking at for which value of y fny equal to p or crosses the p for the first time. So in this data set, in question number 1, that is 1, 2, 3, given these 5 numbers, for y equal to 7 and 8, if I take p equal to 0.75, then you see for y equal to 7 and y equal to 8, fny exceeds this value of p. Why? Because what is fn7? That is your 4 by 5. Right, and for 8 it is 1. So where it is exceeding the p for the first time? At 7. So for this data, the 75th percentile will be 7. That's it. Hope you have understood. Quantile definition. Thank you. Please go through this note carefully. So empirical distribution function and quantile. That's it. Thank you.